What's up, guys? Oh shit, sorry. What's up, guys? Sorry if this video is a bit shaky. I'm gonna start it the way I start all my patient encounters. So close your eyes, open your mouth. No, I'm just fucking around. I don't start anything like that. So what I'm gonna go over to today is kind of what happened today, which is kind of weird. Is that so about a few days ago, or maybe last week, one of my patients, or not my patient, one of my executive director called me and was like, we needed you to come in and talk about opportunities. Now, as somebody that consults a lot, I was like, are these good or bad opportunities? And they were kind of weird about it. And then I was talking with my director and not my director, I was talking with everybody in the group and seeing therapy posts and people reaching out to me. And everyone got laid off this week at most companies. Not my company, but most companies, a lot of people got laid off. We saw this happen in SNFs and PDPM. This week, a bunch of therapists got fucked, like hard. Like people went from making 135K to like 80K or let go. If you're a student coming out, like I feel bad for you because it's like your tuition's higher than what I paid and the job market's about to crash for the next year or two where you're gonna basically might even see jobs for 45K when you just spent 100K on school. Like this is just fucked. Like I kind of feel like we should all get our money back. That being said, so they called me in for opportunities and it was just weird. And knowing that a bunch of people were getting laid off, I actually started putting out applications on Indeed. Also why I launched my Black Friday sale for my course was I was looking out for myself, always having exit plans. A lot of PTs don't have exit plans. And right now with Christmas coming around the corner, like it would be super shitty to get let go or a pay reduction, and you have to go tell your kids or whatever that Christmas is going to be different because of these cuts. Like it's just a really bad situation to be in. So it's just like I knew something was going to happen, especially the way they worded it, and like come in and talk about opportunities, and I'm not a fucking dumbass, so I know what's happening. People consult with me. I have over 100 people in my course right now. And I've been watching the industry for months. So that's why I have my Pain-Free Performance here. This is my personal training company, nutrition company. If you don't want to get fat as a home care PT, you can sign up for this. It's actually very affordable. So so I have that. I have my online course and I've been showing everyone and showing people how to start their own business and go cash pay. So that way, if this does happen, it doesn't really affect you. Because if you have your own business like this or my course or whatever, then you're actually okay. Because even if you lose some money, you still have other money coming in. So I go into this meeting today. Basically what happened is we are firing you, but you're such a good therapist. You're the best therapist we've had, but we pay you too much money to keep you in this branch. So we want you to come to corporate and do some director work, build up clinics, outpatient clinics, and so on, especially because I know all the Medicare regulations for Part A and Part B. And first thing I said, well, is there a pay cut? They said, no, they're going to eat that cost. And I said, however, they might want me moving around the state, basically going to the Keys for 3 months, building clinics, getting them staffed, then moving and keep building clinics, growing the telehealth stuff, growing our workers' comp, and growing the other stuff. So I basically got transferred to a corporate position. Luckily, I knew that this was going to happen a while ago, which is why I've been building out my Pain-Free Performance, why I've been building out my home health mentor stuff. And again, my home health course is still valuable to you. It's going to teach you visits. It's going to teach you lower level exercises that I'm uploading. We have the low level exercise library. We have the note templates. So the home health mentor course is still going to be valuable. It's just not going to be as valuable in getting you paid for the next 2 or 3 months, but it's going to at least let you know what you're getting into and cover simple shit like how to find a bathroom, how to do an Oasis, and so on. So the course is still providing value there. My Pain-Free Performance is going up too, especially as my YouTube's been growing. And again, this is something I'm going to try to transfer into the home health mentor course as well, not the nutrition coaching and strength training, but that just basic principles so you don't get fat as a home care PT. Because when you're driving around all day, there's fast food everywhere. You got to make sure you hit your macros, make sure you're working out, make sure you're not because a lot of people gain weight in home care. So might throw some of that in there too. Gonna throw in the low level exercise stuff. Where was I going with this? So okay, sorry, there's a lot of people watching, so usually it's just me talking to a camera. What's up, everyone? And sorry if my joke was offensive. I just thought it was hilarious. So right now, I was like, like if you want me to go to the place, I have a lease in Tampa, and they're like, oh well, we'll just get you a place there. I was like, okay. So they're offering to provide housing. Basically, they just need someone to kind of take over. They're telling me that I have the entrepreneur mindset. I know what's going on. I've solved lots of problems since I've worked with them. My nursing and executive director actually, and this is the fucked up part that I feel bad for other PTs that haven't provided value. And if you followed my YouTube since I started launching all of this content, I kept saying provide value, provide value, provide value. I know I said it multiple times. I've talked to many of you one-on-one, for those in my course, or just conversations we've had, is that I've said provide value. Well, because I provide so much value, that's the reason they didn't fire me. But we have other PTs who are getting fired because they didn't provide value. And also we have one PT I was in charge of 5 counties. Now with this PT is in 1 county, they want him in charge of 6. And if he says no, they are going to fire him, which is fucked up. Because I think, and the reason they went with him instead of me is like they're paying me $100K plus, and that's not going to be, what the payment's being cut where you used to get 60% up front. Now you're getting it all on the back end. They can't afford to keep me on in the home care section. If they switch me to our Part B section and the corporate section and this other stuff, they can afford to keep me on. But this other guy, I think he's only making 75 or 80, probably because he didn't take my course or he's just super old and didn't get cost of inflation adjustments. I don't know. So they're keeping him on, but they want him to cover my whole territory. And if he doesn't, they're going to say no. And then also we're hiring PRN PTs. Once we find the right one, we'll then probably give them a higher pay cut, or sorry, not higher, a higher pay raise. And we're actually maxing out our PTA use right now as well. That being said, we know that cut's going to come next year when the 8% cut hits outpatient. I believe PTA's reimbursement is also going to switch to only 80% of what it's making now. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And so there's all this crazy stuff going on. But basically, I was making too much money, which I kind of knew. And it's kind of weird. But instead of firing me because I provided so much value in the year and a half or so that I was there, that I'm being transferred to a director role. And again, I don't know what's going to happen. I was preparing for this, and what I did is actually I maxed out my PTO. So I'm actually taking off most of December. I'm going to be on vacation. And what they did is, because I already had it all submitted and approved, is that, so my last day is going to be in about a week, but then I'm on vacation. So it's not technically my last day, but then I'm going to be fired, I think, December 30th. But then that same day, my contract that they gave me today states that I keep my salary and get transferred to the corporate section. And then I don't know where they're going to be sending me. I'm still going to be training PTs in home health and onboarding them because they still want me to do that because everyone else is just kind of not really up to par or up to speed. So the only thing that's going to be an issue is, if they're sending me to the Keys for 3 months, I'm not sure how that's going to play out. However, if they pay for my housing and keep my pay the same and I'm not driving in as much, it might be very beneficial. I got to see how it works out and how everything goes. I don't know if I want to go back to the Miami area or South Florida. So there's that to consider. I was actually planning on either switching to travel PT or doing something else outside of therapy altogether come June. That being said, there's lots of stuff going on in the background. Some people know about stuff that goes on, some people don't. I'm not going to actually say all of that until some stuff gets put in place because I don't want to be someone that says something and then doesn't follow through with it. So right now we are looking for PT in the Tampa area to mostly cover Hillsborough County, where I mostly am Hillsborough. Down in Manatee County, we had one, but unfortunately still hasn't even been trained on starter care because I wasn't in charge of hiring then, and just a whole another issue there. So it's just kind of weird that, I'm 2 years out of school and now I'm being promoted to this director position and keeping my pay. I feel very, very grateful and lucky that I didn't get my pay cut. I was pretty sure I was going to get fired today, which is why I was putting out resumes and, why I've been putting out how to build your own cash pay practice, branding my stuff online like this. And also, again, if you want to be my client, you get one of these shirts too. But right now, I think the best thing to do for most of you is you guys need to brand your own content out. You'll see lots of stuff coming out on YouTube where I'm teaching you how to start your business for under $200, how to start branding, how to start marketing. This is stuff a lot of people teach. I'm just putting out the content for free so that way you guys, don't feel like you have to pay a bunch to go to this, especially if you don't know if you're going to have a job the next day. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but the best thing you can do right now is honestly brand your own content, be your own clinic owner. Like if I didn't get transferred to this corporate position and to keep my pay, then I probably would have just, like, I don't know what they call my student loan company and been like, hey, I'm making $0, and that way my payment would have been $0, and then just probably focus on this completely. Right now I'm not really in a place to do that because I was in a pretty bad financial spot not too long ago. When I got out of school, kind of why I made my course and everything like that. And so, like, I feel very, very fortunate. I'm going to keep using my pay to do my own thing. And as I tell you guys in my course and in this group and so on, the reason why I want you guys getting paid as much as you can, whether that's even in outpatient, I know I got some of you guys outpatient jobs up in the 80 plus range, or even SNF jobs that are so high even after these changes, just from some, like based on need, rural location and so on, that the reason that you need to get that pay is so that eventually you can be financially independent and work for yourself, or put that money into your own business, whether that's, owning a CrossFit gym, owning a personal training studio, owning your own cash pay practice, or just doing something completely different like e-commerce. So like I've dabbled in all of it. I'm gonna start putting out more videos about it. But right now, that's kind of the best way to go, because if you have your own business and you're taking cash, like my performance company or my mentor course. What's up, James? What's up, Cody? And who else said hi? Sorry, there's a lot of comments on here. Yes, Andy, it's a unique opportunity. So what's up, Christian? Hope you liked your winnings. So also what I'm going to do is that, because I actually am in a position to continue to grow my stuff, is that all my profits from, as you guys saw today, all my profits from whether my course, my training company, other stuff I'm building out, are actually going to be percentages that are going to be given back in weekly winnings to people that buy the products to help pay off student loans, to get extra cash. Because, like, even if you're a student, you're still eligible. It's not, like, the reason I do it is I had this idea a while ago where one way to fix the problem is to give back. And right now with PTs kind of being like shit on by everybody, I'm actually in a place to kind of help out where I can and solve the problem. So eventually the goal is to, get enough profit and product to get to a point where you can just go around, or I can just go around and pay off people's student loans. I don't know if that will happen. That is a dream goal of mine, where it would be like, to get enough YouTube subscribers, enough people that follow my training program, get 100 people that pay me $100 a month. Well, there you go. I can kind of chill and then give probably 25% of that back to the PT profession. So there's lots of moving pieces here. Again, I don't know how this position is going to work out. And if they want to send me, hours away from where I am now, but they're going to give me a house. It's basically like one of my plans was to switch to travel when my lease was up. So we're going to see how the travel market changes as well. I'm going to stay in this position from now just because the pay, honestly, if I wasn't getting paid as much as I am, then I probably would just honestly do something else. Right now, though, as I was saying, the best thing that you can do is just know your worth. And even if you are coming out of school and you're like, oh shit, all these PTs got laid off, there's an oversaturation of people. I just paid $200,000 for my degree or whatever, because that's like the average now coming out well, sorry, I'm reading all these comments. Yes, James. That's why I'm taking it too. It's because I can, put it on my resume or whatever, but it's going to help me build some clinics from the ground up. So you're coming out now and you're like, oh shit, like the market's oversaturated. Travel market's going to probably crash come January. And I know people don't want to hear that, but what's happened is most people wait to start travel jobs after the holidays. But right now you just have 400 therapists lose their job this week. We're laying off therapists that aren't providing value, and we're telling them if they say no to us, they're fired. And that I feel super lucky and blessed that didn't happen to me. I really thought that was going to happen to me today. I was pretty sure I was getting fired. I technically did, but it was kind of it's a weird feeling, because it was it's a promotion, but also that you're no longer going to be treating patients that I've been seeing for a year and a half and in this area. It's just it's like a, I don't know, ambivalent feeling. So what I was saying is, you come out and you're worried about these pay cuts with these oversaturation, and you might even see jobs like $45K, and you just paid some school I think charges $18,000 a semester, and maybe a high cost of living, your loans, you're like what the fuck did I just do? This was a terrible financial decision. I think most of us have been in that point, and unfortunately you can't ask for our money back, at least not yet. So what you need to do is, honestly, if you start charging cash pay and you get enough clients and you market directly to your consumer, like with this, my pain-free performance, like, and it says exercise and injury specialist. The reason that's my tagline is because if it said physical therapy, nobody would know what the fuck I do. But they like the pain-free performance, they like the logo, they like that it says exercise and injury specialist. So if you start marketing directly, and even say, you know, you see a lot of people say charge $150, charge $300, you know, high ticket concierge. Even if you're charging, you know, $50 an hour, but you have like 30 clients a week, you're going to make more than a lot of PTs. And, you know, that's why we see lots of personal trainers doing very well, because they charge more, they make more. Massage therapist I go to charges $90 a session. You know, his hands are burnt out, but he does very well for himself, seeing 10 people a day, you know, $900 a day. And the massage therapy school was much cheaper than PT school. So if you start marketing to your consumer, you put in the work, whether you're concierge, you don't even need to have a place, but that's the best thing that you can do, because that way, and I've said this in my YouTube videos too, that way your income is directly proportional to the work you put into it. And I know James, for example, he put a lot of work into building his staffing agency. And the reason for that is he got tired of other people dictating his worth. So that's kind of where a lot of people are. I feel very lucky to be in this director position. I'm not sure if it's going to work out, or if I'm going to leave or what's going on. Right now, I'm lucky enough that I'm able to use up all my PTO, basically just get paid for the rest of December, and then January 1st, kind of start like a whole new chapter, doing something completely different. I'm going to be leaving patient care mostly and just working into the strategic development, and again, working on our telehealth, our workers' comp contracts, our Medicare, and we're doing cash pay. I do my own cash pay as well, but I mean, if somebody's going to keep me on salary to do cash pay for them, like whatever. And there's no not NDAs, like conflict of interest and non-competes or stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. You know, like I feel like this was probably the best move for me, because I was getting kind of burnt out on patient care, just because I've been working a lot. Like I've been making a lot of money, and that's also why, you know, why they're letting me go. But I've been working like a lot, and it was kind of burning me out. So that's kind of the update with this. Hopefully this video made sense. I know it's a live video. Usually it's recorded. There's lots of takes. My cat jumps on me and other issues. I actually have the microphone set up here, so hopefully the audio was okay. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. There wasn't any static or anything like that. But that's kind of the update with me. If you have any questions, comment below, complaints, concerns, etc. And I'll update you guys, I guess, come January. Again, I'm only working for one more week or so, and then I'm on vacation till the end of the year, and then I'll get my last. Tracy, so I already have cash pay clients. I actually have been doing concierge cash pay here, just because a lot of people. So I treated during the CrossFit Open. If you guys are CrossFitters, I'll go back. This is kind of a long story, but so I've been a CrossFit coach since 2013-ish. I was a CrossFit coach through all of PT school. I was actually the head coach at one of my gyms in the Miami area through all of PT school. And honestly, I think that coaching CrossFit for 2 to 3 years gave me a much better movement analysis outlook than anything I was taught in PT school. So when I moved to Tampa, I wasn't coaching anymore, but I was CrossFitting a lot. And then during the Open this year, which was like a national competition, I was treating athletes for free during the Open, because I always believe in providing value first, which is why a lot of my content is free and helpful. And so I actually was treating a lot of athletes during the Open last year, this year. So I have a lot of CrossFitters that work with me. I usually charge $160 a session. However, if they double book, I actually give them half off for $80 a session, but they've been booking or paying me recurring fees, and I just go to their house. I have my table, I have my tools. And then also when I was in Miami as well, I was working with the NFL, I was working with CrossFit athletes, I was working with high-level athletes in orthopedics. So like, you know, my manual skills are pretty good. I can do all the chiropractic adjustments, the spinal manipulations, neck manipulations, and so on. So my CrossFit population does pay me cash pay, and most CrossFitters have money just because of the cost it is to CrossFit. So I do have a lot of cash pay CrossFit clients right now, and then also I'm taking most of my programs online. So like my pain-free performance, this is what I bill everything under for cash pay. That's why it says exercise and injury specialist, but I just rebranded my online training as well. I have online training clients. I have some clients that got in with me early. They're only paying me $40 a month, but my newer clients are actually paying me $100 a month. And basically I have the app, and it has their food logs, nutrition logs, but basically we do a full intake. We build out a year of training programs based around their goals. If they have any injuries, we work around that. They can Skype with me, they can consult with me, and they can FaceTime with me, and they have direct message to me through the app. So through the pain-free performance being built out as an online only thing, and why that's kind of where my YouTube is going now, I'm continuing to get clients, even Medicare age. I actually even have clients 65 and up, actually even in Canada, and a lot all over the state. So that's growing as well, and that's why I recommend people do that. My goal is honestly to be eventually completely online, but right now I still need to have funds to pay other bills and fund the online stuff, because what we've seen now with Facebook ads and so on is that if you you want to spend a decent amount of money on Facebook ads to get a nice ROI. However, I'm not comfortable right now spending $3,000 on Facebook ads, though I know that would probably generate me $15,000 in revenue. That's a lot of change to risk. What's going on here with Austin? Do you believe agencies are bringing aboard? Yes, Austin, currently I do, because nobody knows what's going to happen, again, with the payments. So the payments under the RAP suppression model was like 60% upfront. That is going away come January 1st. So the agencies aren't going to get paid until on the back end. So they're not going to be able to make payroll. So with PRN, PTs, and so on, they don't really have as much say if the payroll can't be made. Like, yes, you can sue them or whatever, and you'll get paid eventually. But when you're on a salary contract, then you expect it up front. But due to the agencies I'm expecting are going to close, I really don't think anybody's going to be full-time unless it's a low salary. And that's only because I've talked to agencies in the area, because as I said, I kind of knew that something was going to happen to me today. I just had a feeling that I've been putting out content on this for a while now. And, I'm not saying, and I've never said that I was immune to any of this. I've always said, make sure you have an exit strategy, make sure you know what's best for you. And that's why I tell most people, again, to do their own thing, because that way they're not relying on somebody else. And so I was always having exit strategies. I talked to travel companies, I talked to agencies in the area. Some company offered me $70,000 to do what I'm doing now, and the same productivity of 30 points a week. And people are going to take that because they have to, or they don't know any better, or they haven't taken my course, they haven't seen my content, they're not in this group. So unfortunately, we are going to see the market drive down. And there was a comment I saw on Facebook the other day that says, it takes about 10 years to realize 10 years for Medicare to realize they make a mistake. So we got about 116 months left. Hopefully that's not the case. I think the market will adjust in a few months, but there's people in this group that I talk to daily that we know their agency is going to close. I believe that I got lucky that I got transferred to corporate, because I'm not sure if the agency that I was currently at is going to, make it through those 3 months. I think they will, because our payroll's been okay. We've always been okay. And the way we run it is just very efficient. But Giancarlo says, because I spoke the truth. Yeah, well, ALFs are a little bit tricky. So I started doing home care in ALFs, and there's all this politics and bullshit. And I don't like ALFs because lots of smaller staffing companies, who many of you guys know, I'm not a fan of staffing companies unless it's James's company where they pay you fairly. So the reason there's a lot of staffing company politics. There's other issues as well. What's up, Austin? What's up, Allison? Sorry, my nose is running. There's lots of, don't worry, I wasn't doing coke or anything earlier. I think I'm just I don't know, I just have a runny nose. I'm just fucking around. So yeah, with ALFs, the issues I've had when I was working in ALFs was, under the PPS, you're kind of pushed to commit Medicare fraud, especially under staffing agencies, because that's all revenue, unless you can switch into Part B. And what's up, Jonas? Yeah, see, exactly. Political BS for sure. I know the reason why one of the main reasons I stopped working in the ALF was the executive director at one of them was like, you didn't write what you did within the patient's chart. How's the family going to know? And I was like, yo, fuck you. It's in the chart. I'm not going to rewrite that shit. But yeah, exactly. So ALFs, you have a lot of politics. Also in ALFs, I was talking to someone about this earlier, but I was talking to, I think Mike earlier about this, is that, you try to treat people in ALFs. Well, breakfast is from 9 to 11, and then lunch is from 11 to 1, and then it's fucking bingo, and then it's happy hour. So it gets to a point where you have to put your foot down. I know when I was in ALFs, I was like, listen, Mr. Thomas or whatever. I was like, listen, if you're going to play bingo, I'm gonna have to call your physician saying that you're ignoring therapy for bingo and we're going to discharge you. So like, it depends on how you put stuff down. Again, ALF schedules depend. It's just that when I was doing ALF stuff, it was easy because everyone was in the building and they could come upstairs to the gym, and like I was just there chilling. I wasn't getting paid as much, but just the politics of it, I just wasn't a fan of the politics of it. And it's just, people do need therapy in those settings. But again, like with the dementia units and so on, lots of those patients aren't going to benefit from therapy. You know, if they're like severe ALZ dementia, you can try it, but if they're like, sometimes it's just like, why are we seeing this patient more than once? A lot of these patients should be eval only, and people get mad at me for saying that, like, because I do think you should try it once or twice, but there's certain times where, you know, the caregivers aren't going to train, or what we've seen now is a lot of ALFs are like, even if the patient can walk, they force the patient to stay in a wheelchair so that we don't have to worry about a fall risk. And like, you know, it's like, okay, we're teaching this patient to walk, but then the ALF is like, no, because we don't want to get sued for a fall. So what we're going to see, unfortunately, is what we have seen. And I actually have to re-upload the video because I tried to edit it and accidentally deleted it. But we've seen patients get worse under PDPM. Patients are going to get worse under PDGM, especially when all these agencies close with this cash flow issue. We're going to see therapists feel probably, honestly, sue their schools. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a class action lawsuit against schools, because the APTA, the private practice section even left the APTA, which shows you like the inefficiency. But basically APTA schools and so on are promising all this stuff, you know, like top 10 job, blah, 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 all this stuff. And now it's like, you know, you just paid 100,000, sometimes 200,000 plus, and the market's going to crash. So, you know, some people may graduate and not get jobs, or, you know, new grads aren't going to have no options and take $45,000, and it's going to be bad. I believe that most home care agencies are going to be PRN for PT and then maybe full-time PTAs, and just abuse the PTAs. It's going to be kind of crazy what happens next. And again, like I said, I have other plans as well. Ideally, I would just go all online with my stuff. But, you know, I still want to take care of patients, but I'm just being honest with you guys and telling you the reality that, like, you know, we are firing PTs who haven't provided value, who don't know their worth. And we are hiring PTs who are screened by me to make sure that, you know, when we rebuild, it's rebuild the right way. But these next few months are going to be kind of rough. It's kind of shitty again that it's the holidays. But that's hopefully that answered your guys' questions. And like I said, like, you know, like there's 400 people laid off, I think, by LHC Group. And there's someone talking about like a strike in January. It's like, if you're striking in January, nobody gives a fuck because the changes already happened. You guys should have striked the day you got laid off. But then you see like the Facebook, there's a union group as well. I don't know if you guys have seen the therapist union groups, like 20,000 members for therapists for a union to protect pay, which would have been great because, you know, they would protect everyone's pay and nobody would got laid off like this. But that group's unorganized as fuck. There's people from different settings, not know what's going on. Most of it's like sniff, or it's like, it's not run the best way. And then they're trying to brand it almost like the APTA, and it's just not efficient. So again, the best thing you can do is look out for yourself. Always have a backup plan. Always have an exit plan. Because, you know, like, I think back in the day, you wanted to have a job for like till you were 65 to retire. Where I'm like, bro, I want to work for like a year, make $1 million, and then just travel the world. So like, again, you know, that might be realistic, but I think that's where everything's headed now, where we see people that can make, you know, $135,000 in a week with online products. We see physical therapy clinics generating, you know, $400,000 in revenue a quarter, and then only paying their outpatient PTs like 60. I've talked to lots of you about this too, who have switched outpatient or came to me, and, you know, they're like, you know, my revenue is bringing in $400,000 for this clinic, but they're only paying me $60,000 a year, and that's because, you know, schools didn't teach you that. And we see this even going to physicians, pharmacists, and so on, nursing, etc. Is that once people realize how much money they're bringing in, they realize that they've kind of been trained to be an assembly line factory worker almost. And then people are like, what is this? And then people get mad at you when you bring up billing. Like, I've had people go on interviews, multiple people, where they start talking about billing, or I've even gone to interviews talking about billing to make sure, you know, I'm still like in touch with what's going on. And I actually still go on job interviews just to explore other opportunities. And so I'm like in touch with you guys when I give advice. And when I bring up billing, or one of my students brings up billing, or one of you guys brings up billing, people kind of look at us like, how do you know billing? How do you know how much your license bills? And it's kind of like, the fact that a lot of people don't know that is insane, because, I mean, if you're paying somebody 6 figures for an education, but they don't tell you how much you're worth, and you're generating $400,000 or so for somebody else, and they're only paying you a fraction of that. I mean, that's just like, it's weird. Like, it's just weird. And then also with nonprofits, like, nonprofits are great, you know, if the loan forgiveness works. I just don't know if, you know, people are like, oh, I can just work a nonprofit for 10 years. It's like, dude, that's 10 years of your life. Do you want to be like a slave to a corporation for 10 years? Like, I don't know. Like, I've thought about this too. Like, if I'm doing what I'm doing now in 10 years, I don't know how I feel about that. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't settle. Something I learned from Ben Fung a long time ago. And if you saw his early content, it was about never settling. And it's kind of like, people that stay at their jobs a long time usually aren't good at their jobs, because usually you want to find something that challenges you and pushes you to go further. That being said, if it's your own business, it's a little bit different. But again, you know, you don't want to like get out of school and that's it. And I hope that made sense. I hope this video was helpful. I'm sorry for making jokes about cocaine and, you know, opening your mouth as your eyes are closed, but I just thought it was hilarious. But so I guess comment below with any more questions. But like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's going on with me. Again, like, you know, we'll see what happens in these first few months come back. I'm kind of happy that I have this vacation plans. Like, I fucking need this. But yeah, so like next week, I think is going to be my last, my last week, actually treating patients, and then I might just go be corporate. So, and again, you know, like I said, I might do some other stuff coming down the road. You'll find out about that when that happens, if it happens. If not, we'll just keep doing this corporate thing for a while. But it's kind of weird that, like, you know, now I'm the director of corporate strategy, and all I do is post memes about like fucked up stuff. But thank you guys for all your support. And again, you know, like, as I said, like with the Black Friday sales of the course and other stuff I put out, I'm trying to get back to the profession, especially now because everyone else is just writing weak letters to Congress. And like, honestly, I think Medicare just wants their money back. But I'm going to try to start giving back to you guys, my supporters, and so on. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube if you want. If you want to talk to me about the Pain-Free Performance year-long training and nutrition program, go ahead and do that. I'll be posting stuff about that on YouTube soon as well. Like, as I said, not to get fat as a home care therapist. And then I'm also going to put some videos on how you guys can brand your own content. If you guys are looking at forming your own business, make sure you look at the video I put out. The video I put out was basically for Florida, but you can apply those same principles to your state and probably, again, form an LLC or whatever you want for a cheap rate. And again, one thing I want to say that I believe I said in the last video I put out is if you see places charging you for your employer identification number, if you are considering starting your own business, do not pay them, because it's a free service by the IRS. And many people I've talked to started their own business didn't know that, and people are charging, you know, $40 to $140 for a free service by the IRS. So just make sure you don't fall into that trap. And that's really it for this live. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can comment below, and make sure you watch this. You can replay it. I'm probably gonna just keep this video privately in this group for right now, but I might share it to YouTube in the future, and I'm gonna be putting out a lot of other content as well. But thank you guys, and I guess I'm gonna go eat some food, and talk to you guys later.